Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the People's Channel. My name is Ben. Guys, today we're going to be exposing Kevin O'Leary. And I'm excited about this video because there's a lot of stuff about this guy that people do not know. So we're going to be talking about that. Usually on Sunday mornings, before I like to throw somebody under the bus, I like to go to church. But we've just moved and we can't find any of our clothes and it's a disaster. So I'm going to the gym today. So Lord, hope you forgive me. Let's talk. So Kevin O'Leary, yesterday I got a message. I actually got a couple messages regarding this subject. But one is from a dear friend of mine, who I know in the crypto world. He is very plugged in, politically. He's got a lot of contacts and he told me that the wind talkers, if you will, the guys in the suits have been saying that Kevin O'Leary is being threatened. Blackmail, extortion, possible physical violence. This is what I'm hearing. And the person told me, they said, listen, have you not noticed that not one single person that's named in that lawsuit or people associated with FTX in terms of promotional or sponsorships, not one of them has said, what is that? A giant scratch on my arm. Not one of them said anything about FTX or Sam Bankman-Fried. Kevin O'Leary, on the other hand, has actually said positive things about him, saying, number one, he said that he would invest money in Sam again. Number two, he said, I know 10 people that know Sam. 9 of them would tell you he's a good guy and he's doing good things. He literally stole customer money. I keep making this comparison, I'll make it again, because Sam Bankman-Fried is a predator. This is like Joe Paterno defending Jerry Sandusky. This is a guy who, I'm telling you guys, when you really lay out what Jerry Sandusky did as a pedophile, as a child predator, compared to what Sam Bankman-Fried did as a financial predator, you will find so many parallels. Jerry Sandusky created a non-profit for the sole purpose of isolating children and molesting them. Okay. Sam Bankman-Fried created FTX solely as a functional casino for Alameda to dip into customer funds that were there and use those funds and steal from them for the purpose of his own personal endeavors. So very, very similar here. And Kevin O'Leary has the audacity to come out and defend him. So it seemed rational to me. It seemed to fit that he would be intimidating into making these comments. We're going to get a lot more into who Kevin O'Leary is here in a second. But the point is this, is that when you look at the idea he was threatened, it made sense he would have made some of these comments. Guys, I just did a poll on Twitter. 94% of people, 94% are saying that Kevin O'Leary is on the wrong side of history on this one. No, Kevin, 94% of people are telling you, you are wrong. Sam stole people's money, you idiot. Like, how in the world? This guy, Mr. Wonderful. Let's talk about this. Guys, it's okay to play a villainish cartoon character, which he does, to where the reason it's like calling a gigantic 7-foot tall guy tiny, like Mr. Wonderful. The character he's wonderful. He's not really wonderful. He'll he's cutthroat and he'll do whatever it takes to make money. Like, that's the character he plays on ABC on Shark Tank, which I got a word for those executives on ABC here in just a moment. But the idea is that it's okay to play a cartoonish character like that. It's not okay to actually be evil. Like, it's definitely not, it's definitely not okay to do something like that. It's not good. This guy, okay, he is absolutely lifting up someone who has stolen people's money. Why? Because he's done so many terrible bad things. Let's talk about, number one, the worst thing he's ever done. Let's talk about the incident in Muskoka. This is Ontario, Canada. okay? Now, I certainly do not want to drag people's families into these types of things. But you can't talk about this without talking about Kevin's wife, okay? Here's what happened. They were on a boat. It was Kevin's wife, Kevin, and a third person. I don't know who the third person is. Supposedly, the story is that they ran into a parked vehicle, okay, or a parked boat, had no lights on it in the middle of the lake. There were 2 people on this boat. There might have been a third person on the boat, but regardless, 2 people literally died. 2 people literally died in Muskoka. Now, I've been talking a lot about this Do Kwon situation, where I feel like what Do Kwon did with Terra Luna is a lot like vehicular manslaughter, where he wasn't actually, he didn't cause the hack. He didn't do anything malicious, but his hubris and his ego and the vulnerabilities with Terra, he didn't listen to people trying to tell him there was a problem, and people lost all their money. So on some level, he has some level of responsibility there, okay? Now, the thing is, that's the way vehicular manslaughter works. If it doesn't matter if you drive through, you spill coffee, none of that matters. What matters is that someone died and someone's got to be held accountable. Now, that's the United States. In Canada, I don't know how exactly they handle those laws, but I will tell you that the issue here is that Kevin his wife got off completely from these charges. Literally 2 people died. She was driving the boat. People that I've been talking to this morning that live in the area say the rumor is, and I can't verify this, I'm just telling you what the rumor with the locals are or is that it was actually Kevin driving the boat. Regardless, whether Kevin's wife, who got off scot-free on this, okay, whether or not she or Kevin were driving the boat, whether it was, obviously it wasn't intentional. I mean, obviously they didn't see the boat and say, let's go run into these people and kill them. Once again, the rumor is there was inebriation involved. That might have actually been in the actual charges. I'd have to go back and look 100%. But the idea here is that these charges totally disappeared. No one's held accountable. 2 people literally lost their lives. Josh Hamilton was a baseball player, okay? He played for the Texas Rangers and eventually the Anaheim Angels. Very sad story. He flipped a baseball up to a guy in the stands in the outfield. The guy leaned over to get the baseball, and he went to catch the baseball. He was with his son. He tumbled over the fence, broke his neck, and he died. Josh Hamilton was never the same player after that. You want to know why? Because the overwhelming guilt on his conscience, even though it was unintentional and he had nothing to do with the final outcome there. When people lose their lives because of your actions, there should be a lot of weight and a lot of guilt there. Kevin didn't miss a beat. Did you even know that happened? Probably didn't. I believe it was 2019. You go back even further, or not, actually around the same time, there was a lawsuit filed. Let's talk about this other situation. There was a lawsuit filed against Kevin, and also Kevin Harrington, one of the other guys from Shark Tank. Kevin literally said he had never heard of these plaintiffs. These plaintiffs were a couple of companies, and they were basically suing Kevin because they said, sounds just like SPF, right? Predatory practices, okay? He came in and promoted them, and then he made them think they were going to be able to get on Shark Tank. He said that he duped the companies. But here's what's important. I don't want to focus on that. What I want to focus on is the outright lies and manipulation that occurs here. Okay, because when you think about this, it's insane. Kevin literally tells in his defense, I do not know who these companies are. I have never worked with these companies. The companies say, wait a second, Kevin, you literally did promotion for us. And then Kevin says, yes, obviously promotions are part of the business. What is it? You literally promoted companies you don't know who they are, where you literally say their name in the video and you don't know who they are. Go check out the video I posted on Twitter from Facebook, right? On Facebook, go look at this video, and what you'll find is that it's literally like a Cameo video. You guys know Cameo, right? I don't do stuff like that, right? To me, it's for celebrities that are on their way out, So no offense, Gary Busey wrote me a birthday song one time there. Where they volunteer, where they get paid, celebrities, C-level celebrities, whatever it is, they get paid by their followers to send them a message. I would never do that. If you want me to tell you happy birthday, send me a DM and maybe I'll do it. I've done it for some people before, okay? But the point here is, if you go watch this IPO video, he's really getting people hyped about this IPO, and it sounds just like a Cameo video, like plug and play. I'm gonna promote whatever it is. I'm gonna know no details. I'm gonna read a script, know nothing about it, and I'm gonna try to get people and investors in here. We know that's his track record. Then you see what he did with these other companies where he claimed that he didn't. And here's the best part. I want you to notice the way that criminal cases are handled by Kevin O'Leary, the same way that the civil cases are. They're paid off, period. They are paid off. Bribes, okay? When you look at the fact, no one was held accountable for 2 deaths that Kevin and his wife admittedly acknowledged they caused. Intentional or unintentional. They caused it. Their boat literally ran into this other boat, killed 2 people, okay? Then you look at the civil cases and you find, that's weird. He says he doesn't know the companies. The companies come back and say, no, here's a video. You did videos for us. You talked about us. And then Kevin says, well, yeah, promotional videos for you. And the judge says, or the companies are like, so you do know who you are. And then the judge are like, dismissed, debunked. How can that get dismissed? How can that get debunked? When he literally admitted that he lied in his defense? That is insane. He has a long track record. Now, I want you to notice the comparisons between SBF and between Kevin O'Leary, okay? SBF, owner of a centralized exchange here in the United States, made a Super Bowl commercial. Probably our money. Our money probably went to that. Well, I didn't have money on FTX, but recruiting athletes to be their sponsors. And then, of course, along with that, just being a terrible, bad person. I think there was one more connection I wanted to draw there, but the point is, go look at BitBuy, B-I-T-B-U-I. This is Kevin's exchange in Canada. And what's there? They had one of those Super Bowl commercials, didn't they? Well, they hired Kyle Lowry, famous Toronto Raptors superstar, won a championship with them, to be his promoter. Very similar, isn't it? Owns a centralized exchange. The same playbook. It's almost like the same people behind SBF are behind Kevin O'Leary. And that's why he has to come out and defend himself nonstop against the detractors. Because he's done the same thing. He had to defend SBF to everyone because he's done the same thing. It's the same playbook over and over again. And what you realize is SPF is the cancer that caused this contagion. But there are many other parasites, bacteria, and virus that also need to be removed. We will not allow crypto to be stock market 2.0. We will not allow it. Kevin O'Leary, uprooting people like Kevin O'Leary, is the proactive step that we should have taken with SPF, and we didn't. So I encourage everyone to go unfollow Kevin O'Leary, unsubscribe from his YouTube channel, unfollow him on Twitter. By the next bull run, 2025, no one in crypto will respect or value the opinion of Kevin O'Leary. Kevin, you can go back to the real estate market if you want, where you actually made a lot of your money without even having a license, where you appeared out of nowhere, not being a broker, making all your money. It's a little strange, isn't it? It's almost like you were playing it there. Guys, we have to remove these people from crypto, and we're going to continue to do it. We're going to continue to call these people out because they deserve it. And ABC, the fact this man was not suspended over these two deaths, you have blood on your hands. That's all I got. Be blessed. Big boy out.